This is the dramatic moment armed police stormed properties linked to Scotland's notorious Lyons mob on Spain's Costa del Sol. The extraordinary pre-dawn swoop came after crime kingpin Steven Lyons, 45, was held on a European arrest warrant after being deported from Indonesia and flown to Amsterdam this week. He is now facing extradition to Spain, where he is wanted on money laundering charges. On Thursday, the Civil Guard released stunning footage showing recent raids on the Spanish base, where several alleged Lyons foot soldiers were apprehended. The video shows heavily armed officers with battering rams smashing their way into homes before colleagues went in to make arrests and initiate painstaking searches of the homes and premises they targeted. Officers are seen rifling through drawers, cupboards, notebooks and bags as they scour the properties for evidence. Mobile phones, expensive watches and wads of cash are among the items seized during the operation. The footage then shows suspects being led away by officers as the major crackdown gathers pace. In a statement they said, referencing Steven Lyons by his initials, the Civil Guard, as part of an operation called Armorum, have smashed the structure in Spain of the so-called Lyons clan, one of the most violent criminal organisations that have originated in Scotland in the last few decades. The detainees include SL, the leader of this organisation, mainly dedicated to drug trafficking and money laundering, as well as the commission of violent crimes of all types. The operation has concluded with the arrest of 14 people in different countries. The authorities have also acted in Indonesia with the support of the Civil Guard, where SL was arrested and subsequently flown to Holland, and a European arrest warrant issued by the Spanish authorities executed. Describing Lyons' wife, Amanda, as an active member of the Lyons gang, the Civil Guard added, "The partner of the gang leader has also been arrested at Dubai's international airport. She is considered an active member of the criminal organisation. International cooperation with police in Turkey has led to high-value assets linked to the criminal network in the country being located and frozen." In Spain, 18 raids and searches took place last week as part of the police operation, mainly on the Costa del as well as Barcelona. Electronic devices, large amounts of cash, company documents, high-end watches and cryptocurrency wallets were seized. The investigation was developed over more than 3 years by the Civil Guard's Central Operative Unit, UCO, and has been carried out in close cooperation with Police Scotland and coordinated by Eurojust. A well-placed Spanish source laying out Steven Lyons' future this week ahead of his arrival in Amsterdam said he may agree to be extradited, and in that case he'd probably be in Spain in around 30 days. But the feeling is he's unlikely to agree to be returned to Spain, and that means another hearing will have to be organised, which is likely to delay the procedure. The insider added later in the day, "The court that issued the arrest warrant, which is a court in Malaga, is investigating him on suspicion of crimes on money laundering and membership of a criminal gang." Civil Guard investigators have estimated the amount of money laundered at above €30 million. Lyons will have to appear before a duty magistrate when he is finally flown to Spain, who will remand him in custody before he is formally questioned by the Malaga-based judge heading the ongoing court money laundering investigation. As he gets ready to spend time in a Spanish jail, he will find himself in the same justice system as Michael Riley, the man accused of executing his brother Eddie Lyons Jr. and pal Ross Monaghan last May. The alleged hitman of Liverpool is in a Spanish jail awaiting trial for the double murders in Fuengirola. Sources say the assassinations ended Lyons' grip on the drug trade in Scotland, with their head Stephen now at his lowest ebb and facing years languishing in a Spanish prison cell. Given the seriousness of the allegations he is facing, Steven Lyons is expected to face a lengthy spell behind bars as a remand prisoner once he is hauled back to Spain, before he can hold out any hope of securing a pre-trial conditional release through lawyers. Lyons was arrested on March 28th after arriving at Bali's international airport from Singapore. Indonesia's immigration system flagged him through an Interpol red notice issued at Spain's request. He was expected to be flown to Europe last week, but his deportation was delayed on at least 2 occasions. It comes as mystery continues to swirl around the whereabouts of 2 of his closest allies, who fled moments before he was arrested after the trio touched down at the island's airport on a flight from Singapore. A manhunt is underway for convicted cocaine dealer Stephen Larwood from Kirkintilloch and Lewis Wark of Glasgow. Cops in Bali are reportedly watching all international crossing points, but say their intelligence suggests the mobsters are still at large on the island. Lyons' dramatic arrest came shortly after a joint Scottish-Spanish operation targeted alleged members of the Lyons crime group in a series of simultaneous raids. The swoops were linked to an alleged plot to swamp Scotland with hundreds of kilos of cocaine. Meanwhile, a former senior police officer has warned that Steven Lyons' arrest has left the notorious Glasgow crime gang decapitated, and claimed it could be the beginning of the end for the group. Martin Gallagher said the gang's reputation is in the gutter after the kingpin was nicked in Bali on March 28th. When asked about what he thought when he saw the pictures from Indonesia, former police chief Gallagher told BBC Scotland's Scotcast, "Decapitation. That's the end of the road really for the higher echelons of that organised crime group. Organised criminals operate on their own reputation and the projection of power. Look at those images. What does that project? The ultimate weakness, the ultimate failure. So I think you would have to say that this looks like the end, or the beginning of the end for that organised crime group."